So Falcons bench Kirk Cousins. I mean, and they call Penix, and they're like, "Hey, man,
It's your turn.
it's your turn." I don't know if I like this move though. As a unofficial Falcons fan kind of guy, it's a team that me and my brother-in-law and my
thirsty,
nephew
bud?
root for. But as and it's just interesting. It's an interesting move. I'd like to hear y'all's opinion on it. I'll give mine at the end, but I will read this. I thought this was funny how the news incorporated this. Kirk Cousins calls him up and lets him know.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that? And then he goes,
Yeah.
Penix said he was shopping with his girlfriend at Costco when he got the call from Morris that he'd be the starter for the rest of the season. He was about to buy a hot dog, but once he got the news, he wasn't hungry anymore. Like, what the fuck? Why is that a thing? Why was that incorporated into this article?
Right.
But I'd like to hear y'all's opinion on it, and then I'll give y'all mine on it. What do you guys think? Penix starting now with the remainder of the season. Let me give you guys the Falcons remainder games. Falcons games.
Actually, it's tough because they play Washington not this week but next week.
Right.
So that was the game that flexed to Sunday night.
I think it's 2 easy games and then the Commanders. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
they got the Giants. Sorry, Sean. Easy game, and then the Commanders, which the Commanders themselves have been kind of off as of recent. Not doing great. Commanders. Then they play the Panthers.
Okay, Sean says it's a good move.
Here's my thing. We talked about it a little bit last week. Actually, we actually kind of talked this into existence almost.
Yeah, we did actually.
Yeah, I think I actually posted the clip about it. If not, then I'll definitely go back and I'll do like a comparison. I don't think it's smart just because I feel like he could sit for it's only 3 more games. Let him take in a little bit more and then go from there. Now, granted, I think I did. Now, granted, I do think that with the way Kirk's been playing, the 9 interceptions over the last 4 or 5 games,
yeah,
that he's not playing good ball. He even admitted it because I actually read a thing before we started tonight about him talking about. He's like, "This is a tough league." He said, "I'm not playing up to my expectations. I don't expect to start." He says, "I'm turning the ball over. I'm not making smart." He says, "This has nothing to do with my injury." He says, "People want to keep bringing up my injuries." He says, "This is Kirk said this. It's my decision making." It's
That's
the truth, though. And I will say that he also said in the same article that he told his coach that he'll be the best second string quarterback in the NFL. He will be there to help him, coach him, talk him up, tell him what he's seeing. Like he said, apparently right after he got off the phone with the coach, Kirk called Penix too.
Yep.
He was like, I just want to kill the elephant in the room. Like, I don't want this to be weird. I don't want it to be weird in the locker room. Like, let's just do our thing.
But that's
so that was big.
That's so cool for him, and I think. Go ahead. But to do your stat, you are correct. Since the Saints game, which was 5 games ago, Kirk Cousins has thrown 9 interceptions and I think 1 touchdown.
It's crazy.
It's bad.
Man.
It's bad.
Really bad stats, man. But I think that it's one of them situations where it's not going to hurt now. I don't think it's going to hurt them. But do I think that they should just let the rest of the season play out, let him learn a little bit more? Because what if he goes out here and something happens? God forbid. You know what I mean? Then it's like, what do we do it for? We don't. I mean, they have a chance for a little playoff run because they have the tiebreaker with the Bucks, but the Bucks are playing good ball right now. I don't know, man. I just think it was it was just weird. And on top of that, yeah, Kirk played like trash, but they still got the win. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. But I did see something somewhere.
But it was a shit Raiders team, so it wasn't like this big boosty win.
And they struggled. To win that game. They almost lost the game, honestly. If it wasn't for Bates getting the interception, there's a chance they could have won that.
Yep.
Now, I just it's one of those situations where I see the pros and the cons of the move. You know what I mean? Like it gives him a little bit of experience, it gets him on the field, gets him playing with his guys, gets the chemistry going, especially if they're deciding that this is what's going to be next year. Like if that's going to be the starter next year, get some chemistry building. But I probably wouldn't have made the move. Not this late in the season. It's kind of like a mute point now. I feel like.
Right. What do you got, Matt?
Well, first of all, I think it's crazy. I think it was last week I just mentioned, is it Michael Penix time? And it's almost like it's almost like I'm like a mind reader. I'm like a gypsy or something, or like a.
I feel like we do that a lot on this show.
I know, right? It's script. We have the script. But anyways,
Speak shit into existence.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think it's like at this point in the season, if you're trying to fight for a playoff spot, and I know you have the Giants, the Commanders, and then we said the Panthers.
It's low key kind of an easy schedule.
It
the toughest team being the Commanders, but the Commanders have not been the Commanders of the season in the beginning.
Right,
They've
right.
been a team that's been a little more struggly.
Well, and keep this in mind as well. The Falcons own the tiebreaker over the Buccaneers. They swept the Buccaneers this season.
Yes, they did.
So and then the Buccaneers have the Cowboys this weekend, and they have the Panthers, and then the Saints.
So they don't really have. I'm sorry, man. They don't really have the toughest schedule to end the season off either, though. So like, maybe that goes into it. Like, because if the Bucks went out, they're gonna go. You know what I mean?
Right?
So,
no, yeah, because they're a game ahead of the Falcons
honestly, the only game that they have to. I mean, the Cowboys game is going to be their toughest match. I mean, the Panthers that should beat. The Saints didn't look terrible last week against the Commanders, but
anyways,
the Bucks should definitely beat them.
Oh yeah, but nonetheless, well, I'm still scratching. I'm with E. I'm scratching my head why you would do it at this point in the season when you're trying to potentially. I mean, you can. Who knows what can happen? Giants could really go off and they could beat the Falcons this weekend. But yeah, just for it to happen like this. I mean, I know Kirk hasn't been playing great. A touchdown and 9 interceptions in the last couple of games, but really just this time at this point in the season, I'm not sure why you would do it, now.
But I mean, at the same time, we questioned Steelers and their quarterback changed, and look what happened. So you never know.
So here's my take on it, and I'm kind of on the fence with Sean over here. I like the move. I didn't like it at first. I didn't, and I'm not. And the boys were there. I said it, and then the more I thought about it, and then after reading the article and seeing that Kirk is willing to step up and help him and mentor him even throughout this journey. That's big, man. That's really big, especially for a young kid. And he's already watched this guy, Kirk, go 1 for 9, 1 touchdown, 9 interceptions in the last 5 games. And the team has still figured out to win games with that. And they weren't doing great, but they have still figured out a way to continue to be successful on the field, even with those huge blunders. So here's the thing. As a coach, you put in Penix, you give him the opportunity to get some games under his belt going into the next season. And if you make it into the playoffs, all of a sudden you're a genius. And or if he doesn't and you guys just kind of even out and just go off into the season, nobody's going to really blame you because you put your rookie quarterback in. And so now at that point, to me, in my opinion, I think it's more of a win-win. And I think Penix can give him a good shot. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah.
And no game better, because we talked about it. No game better to put a rookie quarterback in. Sorry, no offense, Sean, against the stinky Giants. You can give him a boost game, boost his head up, boost his ego up.
It's almost like a little layup to kind of get his confidence moving in the
Right.
right direction.
And then you have a big challenge against Washington. That'd be a real
A
test.
decent challenge against Washington, and then you finish out the season with an easy Panthers game.
Yep.
You can have a rookie quarterback leave the season going 2-1 with his head on his you can have a rookie quarterback go into the offseason going 2-1 and with some confidence and or possibly in the playoffs. And
now here's the thing. If they do this, do you think they trade Kirk in the offseason? That's an expensive backup.
Yeah, that's because he's 3 years. He's locked in for 2 more years.
They gotta offload him.
You know that they're going to, and you can.
They have to.
So
he still had good upside.
And it's just funny because he wanted to go there because that's where his family is.
Yeah,
that's where he lives. And
so we just talked about it. So we just talked about it. I think the Rams could be looking to land another quarterback.
I don't think they go with
you are a giant.
That's funny. Sean, you don't feel good in Shador?
No, I don't think the Rams would be in the market for another veteran quarterback like that.
They're going to go young. I think if they do anything, they're going to go young.
I think it's about time they just start their rebuild.
Yeah.
Not even start the rebuild, but just get a young quarterback.
I mean, honestly, I thought we all thought it was going to be this year, but look at them now. They're first place in the shitty NFC West.
Yeah.
But
that's Falcons, man.
Absolutely.